the Bahamas. It's Holland America Line's private island in the Bahamas. It's called Half Moon Cay or Half Moon Key, depending on who is saying
Who's
it.
saying it? Yes.
And that's just a nickname for the island. The island's actually called Little San Salvador.
Not that anyone knows that.
Well,
You looked it
now
up,
you
but
know that. I didn't look it up. The captain actually said it.
oh,
And I was like, we're not going to Little San Salvador, we're going to Half Moon Cay. And then I had to find out that it is
it's
actually
the same.
the actual name of that island. And it's paradise. It's very pretty. It's very nice. We had been there at least once before.
Yes, at least once.
And for some reason I didn't remember it, I guess, all that well. But once we got there and I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, we've been here before. But it's actually very nice. The not so good part about it is a tender port, and it's always going to be a tender port for Holland America Line. They are currently building a pier, but that pier is going to be for Carnival cruise ships that share part of the island. Not that the passengers mix.
Yeah, the Carnival
But
Carnival sails and uses the other half of the island.
But and so unless, from what we heard today, and this was just from fellow passengers, unless, and I don't know if it's true or not, unless there is not a Carnival ship in port that day,
Then they'll make use of it.
yes. So if there is not one, supposedly Holland America Line will make use of the pier, so that way you can just walk off and right onto the island. But right now, and it has been since 1997, a tender port, which means you have to get off the ship onto a little boat, and the boat will taxi you over.
Not that it's a
And it's
true
not a-
tender port. True tender port, you would use the lifeboats from the ship to ferry you ashore. Because it's their private island, they have larger ferries that hold 400 people. So that does speed it up. So it's not really a true tender port, but you are ferrying from the ship onto the island.
And it's not a very long distance to go on this taxi, this water taxi or ferry, however you want to call it. It takes, you say it takes less
than 10 minutes.
Quite a few things are free on the island. All of the lounge chairs that you see on the beach are free. You don't have to pay for those, unlike some other private cruise line islands. They are all free. There are plenty of things for purchase on the island as well.
Cabanas and drinks are not included in your drink
Right,
package.
even if you have a drink package or the have it all package, drinks on Half Moon Cay are not included. You do have to pay for those, plus the Bahamian
value-added tax, yes.
So that they are quite expensive if you're drinking on the
Yes.
island. They have some other things that like the cabanas you should, or I think you probably have to reserve those ahead of time, and you reserve those
Just
the
like
same way you reserve
the shore excursion.
a shore excursion. But on the island they have these neat little big wheel bikes, adult big wheel bikes that you can rent
sand and water.
on the sand, and they have little sailboat paddleboard type things that you can rent on the that is for purchase, but you don't book that ahead of time.
Yes.
You can just go up and they have little float thing. They're not real. They're not like floaty chair type things that you would put in a swimming pool. They're sort of more like a yoga mat, really.
Yes,
but they do
they're
float,
foam and they
and
float.
you can rent those and float on the beach. The water there is so calm. We must be on the leeward side of the island, the way
I
things
would
are.
yes, I would assume.
I would think if you were on the windward side of the island, you'd really get a lot more waves.
Yes.
So we must be where all of these activities happen. Must be on the leewards because it's so calm. You have a teeny tiny little wave that comes ashore, and nothing more than that.
No.
Unless there's a storm, I guess. But yes, it's so calm and just beautiful, and you can walk. It's very natural, very very nature.
And they have various sports courts.
Yes, there's a basketball court and a volleyball court and a sand soccer.
Yes.
Was part of that. And then you can also get lunch cooked ashore by your crew, your food and beverage crew that's on board the ship. They take these items ashore and they cook it on at the pavilion that's there. They have a barbecue lunch. I had barbecue ribs for lunch. I had barbecue chicken breast. You had a hamburger. They had a number of
They had
your
hot dogs, and they had your various uh, macaroni salad, potato
Picnic-type
salad,
salads.
coleslaw, picnic items, yes.
picnic type salads. And some fruit salad as well, and then plenty of fresh fruit as well as desserts, many desserts. And there is an ice cream machine, and then they have your regular free beverage station, so water and iced tea and lemonade, I think, are available there. And then, of course, for purchase, you have all of the alcoholic drinks or sodas and other items like that. But there are a number of excursions that they have for Half Moon Cay. There's the horseback riding that
Which is what we did,
and
yes.
that's what we did, and it was a fun time. You'll have to watch our other video to see the rest of our comments
on that, yes.
on that. We talk about all of the aspects of that, and it was actually, they moved the horses, about 24 horses. They moved them just yesterday, so today was only the second day they were operating the horseback ride excursion out of this new location. So some things were a little bit new. So we tell you all about that on that video. So make sure you check that out if you're interested in horseback riding on Half Moon Cay. And there was a nature walk that we saw that's part of an excursion.
There's a dolphin swim, and there's a stingray adventure, and there's jet skiing, and
a number of other things that I don't know exactly what all.
Oh yes, I don't remember what else there was. There were many things. We saw a glass bottom boat.
So that is Half Moon Cay. It's beautiful. It's a nice time. The lunch was excellent.
Yes.
And
it's truly fitting for Holland. It's a very nicely well done, well put together island. It's not.
It's a little
overly commercial. You go to some of the other private islands, but it definitely fits Holland's brand for the island.
Yeah. If you like the beach and you like the sun, that's absolutely where you will be. We will find you there.